Thank you, Chairman Grassley. President Trump campaigned on the promise of deporting the worst of the worst: rapists, murderers, terrorists, the criminally insane immigrants. In reality, the president has engaged in a lawless, failing mass deportation campaign that has diverted important resources away from drug trafficking, gun violence, and other threats, and put our nation at security risk. This committee needs to hold him accountable. Consider President Trump's extrajudicial killings of alleged drug traffickers. The body count now is amazing. Since September, the administration has carried out at least 22 attacks, killing at least 87 people. The President and Secretary Hegseth allege they are killing, quote, narco-terrorists, but the administration refuses to provide any evidence of an imminent threat justifying lethal force. If these are actually drug traffickers, law enforcement should stop the boats, confiscate and destroy the drugs, and prosecute the traffickers. The Justice Department's Office of Legal Counsel has tried to provide legal cover for these summary executions in a deeply flawed legal opinion, which it refuses to make public to the American people. At the same time, President Trump doesn't appear to have received the message on narco-terrorism. He has pardoned Juan Orlando Hernandez, the former president of Honduras, who is convicted of orchestrating a massive conspiracy to flood our country with illegal narcotics. This kingpin, Mr. Hernandez, bragged, and I quote, "We're going to stuff drugs up the gringos' noses and they're never even going to know it," unquote. He was sentenced to 45 years in prison for his role as a drug kingpin in what was called one of the largest, most violent drug trafficking conspiracies in the world. How's he doing now? Well, he's free. The same president who is dedicated to ending narco-terrorism released him with an unconditional pardon. This follows the president's pardon of another drug kingpin. Must have been a good week for drug kingpins in the White House. Silk Road founder Ross Ulbricht. He created the largest online black market for illegal drugs in the nation's history. The Justice Department said Silk Road was, quote, used by thousands of drug dealers and other unlawful vendors to distribute hundreds of kilograms of illegal drugs and other unlawful goods and services to more than 100,000 buyers, and to launder hundreds of millions of dollars derived from these transactions. And the president pardoned this founder of this entity as well. Do these sound like the actions of a president who is focused on making America safe again? Meanwhile, President Trump is targeting communities that didn't vote for him, like Chicago. Instead of arresting dangerous murderers, rapists, and terrorists, as promised, the Trump administration is rounding up tens of thousands of immigrants with no criminal history. In Illinois, a mere 2.5% of immigrants arrested by ICE between September 8th and October 15th, as reported to the federal court, had been convicted of a violent crime. 66% of the people detained and deported had no criminal history whatsoever. The worst of the worst? The president is making no secret about his true motivation. I'll never forget my 2018 meeting in the Oval Office when President Trump rejected a bipartisan immigration deal because he didn't want any more immigrants from those, quote, S-hole countries. Now, there was some question as to whether he said that for years, but he not only confessed it, he bragged about it at a rally that he had in Pennsylvania, that he said those words. At the time, the president denied making those comments, and 2 Republican senators claimed I was lying when I confirmed them. Now, President Trump is not hiding his true feelings. At a rally earlier this week, he bragged about calling Somalia an S-hole country. Back in 2018, he has called Somali Americans, quote, garbage. This is racism, plain and simple. For the president to say he wants more immigrants from Norway, Sweden, and Afrikaners, what do they have in common? DHS Secretary Kristi Noem has echoed the president, calling for, quote, a full travel ban on every damn country that's been flooding our nation with killers, leeches, and entitlement junkies. After her call, federal agents began pulling immigrants in who were already approved for citizenship out of their naturalization oath ceremonies. These are immigrants who follow every rule and were ready to swear an oath of allegiance to our country. Does anyone still believe that this effort by DHS is going after the worst of the worst? I want to thank Chairman Grassley for committing to bring Secretary Noem before the committee before the end of the year. Unfortunately, she has stiff-armed this committee, refusing to commit to a hearing date. Mr. Chairman, you have the power to issue a subpoena. It will be bipartisan because I will be glad to sign that request with you. It is time for Secretary Noem to end her gallivanting across this country and come before this committee and be held accountable by the American people.